When old men just casually walk around naked in the locker room without caring. Why is it only old men that do this? Anyone under 70 just tries to subtly change quickly and get out. Also, one time I was working out, and the two girls on the machines next to me started making out and asked me to join. How rude. Give me some privacy. Story 1. My biggest pet peeve isn't with people at the gym. It's with gyms themselves. Maybe it's just where I live, but every single gym has 2 to 3 bench presses. And what's the most popular exercise for men? Bench pressing. I've stood in 7 deep lines of guys waiting to bench press. And that's not even counting the guys on treadmills or wandering around waiting for a bench to free up. And that's just the tip of the iceberg. Story 2. This thread makes me love my gym, and I can't wait to get back. There are about 10 squat racks. Everyone minds their own business. There are specific spots for deadlifts, and it is pretty much all young people 20 to 40 years old. Story 3. People using multiple apparatus at once. Like you go to use the Smith machine, and out of nowhere you hear, "Hey, I'm using that," from some guy way over there on the shoulder press machine. When you're waiting for someone to finish, and in between sets they're getting lost in their phone for a good 3 minutes. Leaving a bench soaked in sweat. Story 4. If there are plenty of empty machines, why do they always choose the one right next to me? No, I do not want to talk. I do not care about your life. I just want to work out and then leave. Story 5. People putting their phone, towel, water bottle, keys, an entire household on a bench and then walking away to work out somewhere else. It infuriates me. I miss the gym though. Story 6. People who stand right in front of the dumbbell rack. Pick up your weights and walk a few steps back. Don't get annoyed when I get very close to also grab weights within 5 pounds of what you are lifting. Story 7. I feel like crazy. I'm not sure why, but oh man, do I become self-conscious of it at the gym. Please, body. Please, let's get through this class or workout without passing gas 3 or more times. I've cut dairy out of my diet and I'm not sure what it is. For goodness sake, I just want to go one session without feeling self-conscious. Story 8. There is this girl in my gym. I was benching, and right after completing my set, I went to drink some water. After I came back, I found her lying down on the bench, just casually lying there. So I waited for about 3 minutes, thinking she might be using it and we could do alternate sets since we have only one bench. But no, she literally slept there. Took me a while to get her to move, but she was polite and apologized. Story 9. There is that one guy in my gym who is just all around ridiculous to look at, and it feels like he keeps following me around the gym. He is a middle-aged man with barely any muscle, even after months of showing up, and always wears a Velcro lifting belt without ever doing exercises that require one. All of the exercises he does wrong. He never uses the maximum possible range of motion, is far too hectic, and has no mind-muscle connection whatsoever, which leads to him cheating through every exercise with the help of other muscle groups. Once he finishes his set, he drops the weights, breathes audibly, and then walks through the gym while acting as if he is the buffest dude around. A few times, I spotted him lurking next to the machines by the ladies' changing room without ever using them or staring at it from the leg press. Naturally, he wears his belt for that. I just try to avoid him as much as possible. Story 10. Superset individuals who take 4 or 5 different sets of weights. If you go to a deluxe gym with a tremendous amount of equipment and space, this does not apply to you. I live in New York City where space is very limited, which means less equipment in most gyms. Individuals who take 4 different sets of dumbbells for supersets just guarantee that no one uses those weights for a longer period of time. This is an incredibly selfish way of going about your workout. Story 11. Your daughter does not belong in the men's locker room. I don't care that there are no family changing areas. You knew that when you joined this gym. A couple of months ago, someone had his 10-year-old daughter in the men's locker room. And yes, I walked out of the shower naked. He got upset. Even more so when I quickly changed into my workout shorts and had them escorted off the premises. Story 12. I was in a crowded steam room one time, and as soon as the steam kicked on and obscured everyone's view of each other's faces, these guys dropped their towels and started masturbating. So yeah, probably masturbating in the locker room. Story 13. Threads like this make me so scared to go to the gym. I don't know what I'm doing on half the equipment, and I'm worried I'll make some accidental mistake and someone will get upset. Story 14. I once saw a young woman leave a treadmill running for 15 minutes at a speed of 8.5, yell at the staff member who tried to stop it, then take a picture of the final result, walk to the tropical smoothie shop that was in the gym, grab a smoothie, and leave. Story 15. When I'm mid-rep on a bench press and you come over and kick my leg to tell me that you want to turn when I had just started, then you get upset because I'm trying to get a good workout. My spotter is upset because now my flow is interrupted. Don't do that. That's a rude move. It's a small base gym and everyone's trying to get a workout in. That being said, I was on the same base as a bunch of Navy Special Warfare guys, so Navy SEALs and whatnot. We all shared the gym. Nicest guys I've ever met. Always cleaned up after their set. Racked weights, always willing to help you out. My friends and I are just analysts, so we're not the macho gym guys, but they always made sure to stop by, say hello, and motivate us. I really miss working out there. Story 16. Big groups of friends that go to work out together often gather around the equipment they plan to share for the next 15 minutes, taking up space around it as well. There was a group of 5 guys using a chest press, and they were all sitting on the machines next to it, not using them, just talking and waiting for their turn. When I finally asked to use one, he just got up without wiping it down, even though he was sweaty, and proceeded to stay right next to me while I did my set. I think there should be a rule about how many people can be in a group at once, but that is just my opinion. Story 17. My pet peeve is when my workout partner gawks at and comments on attractive women that walk by. Yes, there but looks great in the form-fitting workout pants. No, I don't think it's appropriate to make a spectacle of them working out and make me look like a jerk in the process. Story 18. Individuals who play poor-quality trap music out of a low-grade cell phone speaker while sitting in front of a locker, a rack, or even worse, in the sauna. No one is impressed by your poor taste in music or choice of venue to play it in. Use headphones that your Android phone came with or purchase an inexpensive pair at any drugstore in North America. Story 19.1. Not re-racking weights. Being really slow when the gym is busy and you're on an in-demand piece of equipment. Let people work in or get a move on. Story 20. People not wiping down the machines and equipment after using it. At best, I do not want to deal with your sweat. At worst, I do not want a staph infection. Story 21. Form that's obviously incorrect drives me to distraction when I see people do a whole workout with bad form. I almost want to scream, "Get it together," at them. Story 22. Watching people use terrible form. I can only afford Planet Fitness and do some heavy sandbag training at home. There is always some guy on the leg press station who has it maxed out, talking 5 or 6 plates each side, and barely moving the weight. He should drop down to 2 or 3 plates and do full range of motion. Story 23. The fact that people treat gyms like bars and clubs now. Stop flirting by the squat rack, and stop taking 10 minutes between sets to talk. Also, people who record their workouts. Story 24. Why do gym guys seem to have such a problem with seeing a wrinkly penis? If you're in the locker room, you have one. It shouldn't be shocking that everyone else there does as well. Story 25. At this point, there's nothing I can't stand about the gym. I miss everything about it. Old man dick has never been a big issue at my place, but even if it was at this point, forget it, man, air it out. Story 26. Those guys who act like the mayor of the gym and everyone in it, so they obnoxiously yell talk to their other brothers with their headphones in, or chat with every attractive girl who recently joined. Cringe. Story 27. I hate that my gym is always packed. I almost always need to wait at least 10 to 15 minutes for a bench or cable to open up, and there is pretty much zero chance of getting both sides of a cable crossover unless it's 2 in the morning. My 1-hour workouts sometimes take almost 2 hours, and I've just left on occasion in the middle of the workout because everyone was elbow to elbow. It's ridiculous, but I still have 6 months left on my contract. Story 28. Boomers who don't respect the concept of working in or how waiting in line works. I asked some man if I could use the machine after him, and he agreed, but while I was helping him unload the plates, some old man just sat in the machine and started his set. I politely informed the old man that it was actually my turn, and he basically told me, "What does that even mean?" and kept working. The man was low-key senile. Story 29. A man with biceps twice the size of Hercules' thighs asked me, a simple guy in his first month at the gym, if I am going to use the two 100-kilogram weights on my machine. No, sir. I wouldn't even be able to hand you one out of kindness. Story 30. People not racking their weights and younger people not knowing how to use equipment or their limits. One kid seriously told me he was going to bench 60 kilograms for 30 repetitions, and the bar fell straight to his chest on the first one. I had to pull it off him, and I haven't seen him since. Story 31. Bank walkers. An old guy told that to me one time. I said, "What the hell is a bank walker?" He said it's the kid who, when you went skinny dipping in the creek, would walk back and forth on the bank showing off his penis. The kids with short penises would jump right in. Story 32. People who constantly shout, scream, and grunt while working out with non-impressive weights. Seriously, dude, you are 3 times as big as me using 45 kilograms on your reps, and you sound like you are dying. I am a walking stick figure out of a children's comic book, and I rep 35 kilograms with ease. We all know you are faking it. Stop drawing attention to yourself. Nobody admires you. Everybody loathes your existence. Please just drop it on your toes and do not come for a month. I have a serious problem with such people. Story 33. People on the treadmill who let their shoes squeak with every step and people taking a long phone call for all of us to listen to. I use headphones, but I shouldn't have to blow out my eardrums trying to drown out some mouth breather's noise. Exceptions are elderly and disabled, obviously. On the treadmill, the rest of you pick up your feet. Story 34. When the 5 brothers are using the same equipment, you are out of luck that day regarding using the equipment. Bonus points when the brothers stand around and talk between each of their sets. That is why I have my own bench and rack at home. No more waiting for the brothers. Story 35. People spending an excessive amount of time on the phone while using a machine. I get it that people need to take a break or put in data on an app. I have seen it where I've wandered off to take a break but kept them in my eye line to jump on when they leave, and they have been on their phone for ages. In a similar vein, people using the gym as a social club. I get it that people go to the gym with friends. If you want to all use a machine at once, no problem. Just don't spend 5 minutes chatting between sets. While getting changed, someone taking all of their belongings out of the locker room and putting each item on every part of a bench. Then sitting there on the phone for ages. Yeah, I'm fine getting changed standing up, putting my things on the dirty floor because you need the entire bench to rest your belongings. The smell is pretty rancid in some parts of the gym. In one particular area, it nearly always smells like someone had accidentally dropped a deuce. These are things you sometimes get used to more than others, and they tend to be a non-issue if you go super early, as there's no one around. Story 36. Kids grunting and moaning to lift lightweight, then acting tough while changing the weight and throwing 10s and 25s on the floor, not caring about the equipment. Story 37. Not sharing equipment. It takes me about 20 seconds to put my weights back on. I'm okay with sharing the bench or rack. I'll even help you with your plates, taking them off or on. This is part of working out. Not wanting to remove and restack weights because it's extra work is kind of funny considering we are in a gym for exercising. I take 5 to 7 minute rests to stretch and stabilize. Phones are left in the locker room. Some people are just rude and dislike others. You really should invest in a home gym. Hostile people in public settings are always challenging. My gym is small and laid back. If you're taking a 5-minute rest between sets, share the equipment. Story 38. Where do you live that your gym is open right now? What bothers me about my gym is it's closed, and even if it was not, I would not go because I do not want to catch the coronavirus. Story 39. People who don't do math. Instead of adding 2 45-pound plates to a bar to make 135 pounds, they use 8 to 10 10-pound plates. Now I have to go all over the gym to find 5-pound plates. Story 40. I was running on a treadmill at a gym and noticed a couple pointing and laughing at me. Not sure if it was the bald half of my head from chemotherapy or the weight I gained from medication taken while on chemotherapy, but it sure convinced me to never go to a gym again. Story 41. If you have walked around the locker room naked before, you would know that no one actually wants to see you naked. so everyone avoids eye contact. Embrace the nakedness and feel free. Older men are like that because they were not insecure about their own bodies back then. Story 42. You care less about what other people think as you get older, so I think older men just don't care about people seeing them at the gym. I think it's one of the few perks of getting older, and I'm quite looking forward to that if I get there. On topic, I can't stand people eating delicious-smelling pre-made food at the gym. Getting hit with the smell of roast chicken and gravy when you're trying to grind through another set is very distracting. Story 43. How has nobody said really crowded gyms? I used to just nope out if it was crawling with people. But my pet peeve is when someone gets close to my bar while I'm lifting. I don't care that you're limboing around for just that one plate. My mellow has been Hershed. Story 44. Dudes wearing flat bill hats. Definitely a me issue and can't really tell you why I don't like it. It just appears as if you're making an unnecessary statement. If you're wearing that nice hat, you're obviously not there to work and sweat. I don't know. Sue me.